I'm calling to order the Auburn Select Board November 25th meeting. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Select Board is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapters 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirement of open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, dial 408-650-3123 with access code 235-235-861. Or the public can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/235-235-861. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. This meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Is there anyone in the audience also recording? Seeing none, could you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item is from community organizations, the Auburn Chamber of Commerce application. Hi. Could you just please provide your name and tell us about the application?
Yes, my name is Brooke Hultgren. I'm here on behalf of the Auburn Chamber of Commerce. This is a one-day liquor license application for the Chamber's holiday party on December 10th from 5:30 to 7:30. And I did send Sharon today the certificate of insurance and the tip certification. So I believe those were the last remaining items as part of the application.
Thank you. Do board members have any questions?
I make a motion that we approve the license, provided that all applicable requirements of the state and town and any of its departments, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said license is subject to all the conditions stated upon it. Failure to comply with any and all the conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void, and with the conditions of the DCG to be placed on the license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. Thank you so much.
The Chamber was also requesting a fee, waiving the fee.
I make a motion that we waive the fee associated with this application for the one-day liquor license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have on our agenda a public hearing. We were notified by the applicant that they have withdrawn their application, so we will not be hearing from Lundgren Motor Cars. The next item on our, the next item on our agenda is National Grid hearing on pole location. Is there a motion to open the hearing?
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. Is there someone from National Grid? Hi. Good. Could you just tell us a little bit about the petition?
Yep. So this petition is to relocate pole 16 on Curtis Street, I believe. Basically, what's going on is they're building development on Curtis Street called Roomy Circle. Pole 16 is in the way of the proposed road. So we're moving the pole about 40 feet north of where it currently is. That's about it.
Thank you. Are there any questions from members of the public? Do board members have any questions?
Yes, is it just one, is just one pole is being moved?
Just one pole is being moved.
Okay, thank you.
Is that pole going also as part of the development, or is that going to an existing property?
It's, I believe, going to where the development is. There should be a map. Let me pull up my phone.
Correct.
It has the property lines highlighted, so Yeah, so pretty much the pole screen was going right where the intersection of Rumi Circle and Curtis Street is. Public right away in front of where one Rumi Circle is.
Thank you.
Are there any additional questions? Is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. Is there a motion on the application?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the petition from National Grid.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. Thank
Alright,
you
cool,
so
thank
much.
you. Have a Good
Thank
good
you.
evening. Thank you.
You too, thank you. We are on number 6, departmental items. There is a request from DPW. Do board members have any questions?
The only question I had is, what department does Mr. Piacentini work for normally?
Facilities management.
Is this the,
He's a new employee, recently hired. He replaced James Beauregard, who also plowed during the winter. So we're looking for Andy to do the same thing. And we just wanted the designation that would allow him to plow as well.
Was there a change to the job description that he doesn't count, or did we have to do the same vote for the previous gentleman?
So there are a number of special town employees, and because they earn a different rate of pay and not their true overtime rate, that's why they have to be designated as special town employee. Yes, it is assumed, it is part of the job description when he was hired for the job.
Are there any other questions? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we designate employee Andrew Piscatini as a special municipal employee for the purpose of snow plowing.
Second.
All those in favor?
aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. We have a request from the fire chief to vote to authorize the fire rescue department to apply and expend funds from the Regional Assistance to Firefighters Grant for the new self-contained breathing apparatus.
Madam Chair, if the board has any questions of the chief, he is participating remotely.
Board members have any questions?
Is there a match to this?
Hi, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Yes, like with any assistance to firefighters grant, based on our population, there is a 5% match. So just to give you a little more background, we are looking to partner with 4 other communities, so there would be a total of 5. Those other communities are Southbridge, Charlton, Millville, and Grafton. And we're looking to do a regional award for new self-contained breathing apparatus. The total project is about $2.2 million worth of equipment, but Auburn's portion of that for 41 air packs is $502,000. So there is a 5% match. So that would be $25,106, and that would come from the operational side of our budget if awarded.
Chief, can you just repeat again how many breathing apparatus?
So Auburn is seeking a total of 41.
41, okay.
Again, this is a regional project, so we're looking for a total of 186 units between the 5 communities, but Auburn's portion is 41 air packs at a total of 502,000. So our match would be 25-1 at 5%.
Thank you.
Is this meant to replace existing equipment or is it to enhance existing equipment? What
Nope,
happens?
so this is looking to replace existing equipment. Back in 2012, we received an AFG grant to replace our existing equipment back then for a total of about $300,000. So this is looking to replace existing equipment. We do have SCBA on our capital improvement plan in fiscal, I want to say it's 27. But I want to start the process now so we at least have a couple of years to try to get this done through a grant before it hits our capital.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we authorize the Fire Rescue Department to apply for and expend funds from a Regional Assistance Firefighters Grant for new self-contained breathing apparatus.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. We have no communications today. We have select board general items. We have the 2025 liquor license renewal in our package. It looks like all but two have already submitted it, and those two are expecting renewal shortly. Do board members have any questions? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the license renewals, provided that all applicable requirements of the state and town and any of its departments, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said licenses are subject to all the conditions stated upon them. Failure to comply with any and all the conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void, and with the conditions of the DCG to be on the licenses.
I just want to see if you can include it, just the businesses on this list. So if anyone's not on this list, they would have to come back before.
So, Madam Chair, we do have another opportunity on December 9th. It appears there are two still outstanding. Whether or not they renew is speculative at this point. We assume they are, but we'll bring that in on the meeting of the 9th.
Thank you. Second.
Okay, and can I amend the motion to say it's for the license renewals as provided in our packet?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. We have no proclamations or recognitions. We do have a gift acceptance for $500 for the Veterans Day entertainment.
Okay, so, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the gift from Central One Federal Credit Union, a gift of $500 that went towards the Veterans Day and Veterans Day entertainment at the senior center. And I ask that we accept it with gratitude.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. In our packet, we received notification that a member of the Finance Committee, Ed Coleman, is resigning. And we need to vote to send a letter of appreciation. My understanding is, well, it's in here. He has been a longtime member of the Finance Committee. So I would just, in general, like to thank him for his service.
So moved, Madam Chair?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. We are moving on to town manager items.
Can I ask, the finance committee, they're going to fill the position? Is there someone else on the board in the meantime?
So we will look through the applications that we have to see if there's someone who had requested to serve on the Finance Committee. If not, we will put it out. That is an appointment of the board. So let us take a look at that, and then we can provide some names to you for consideration if we have any on file. If not, we'll put it out, we'll put the ad out immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we are moving on to town manager items.
So, Madam Chair, I wanted to give the board an update on the opera funds already committed to date, as it relates to what has been spent, what's encumbered, what is obligated but not encumbered. Because I want to bring before you a request on the 9th that may allow us to recoup some of the money that may be considered surplus if the work has been completed, because we only have till the end of December to commit these funds to be expended over the next 2 years. We already put the word out there to the department heads last week. We had a department heads meeting, so they asked to take a look at their accounts. So I believe in the case of the Warren Street Pump Station, there is a significant balance remaining. It may be in excess over 100, but there was a pending change order that they're taking a look at. So I was hoping to have something ready for tonight. Unfortunately, due to that review, it's going to have to wait till December 9th. I just wanted to give you a heads up that something will be coming in at the next meeting. But just to briefly give you a summary, out of the $5,011,000 and change, we have $19,500 roughly available to be committed for whatever purpose we are going to bring forward. And in most cases, it will probably be some additional HVAC work that we had prioritized, and we would like to upgrade a number of our public buildings. But to date, out of the $5,011,000, if you look under expended, roughly the middle of the report, roughly $2.652 million has been spent to date. In addition to that, we have $600,000 in change that's currently encumbered and will be expended, leaving a balance that has been committed of roughly $1,738,000, less than 19. So we know we have to bring at least forward the 19 and any additional funds that may be reconsidered.
So, Madam Chair, may I ask a question? Is the guidance from the federal government that in order to be considered quote unquote encumbered, it has to be locked into a PO, or it just has to be dedicated by a vote of the board?
Vote of the board, because we have to do attest to the fact that the board voted that, and that has to be sent in.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be secured via PO. It's
Right.
just a simple vote. Okay.
Now, I just don't know if things may change under the new administration. That's
Correct. Yep.
It could be a recall, we just don't know, but those are the guidelines we're going by right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, then from the amount that is encumbered, how many are in the PO phase or beyond that?
So if you look at the far right-hand column, the bulk of that money is sitting in HVAC, 1.4 million. I can tell you that bid specs are being worked on now with Joe Fahey and with our engineering department. So we're hoping that will be probably bid on in after the first of the year at some point. That will lead to a PO being issued for those services once awarded.
And that's the last remaining from the, I know you said that's the bulk. I just want to make sure if we are not in PO, that other items are in the PO phase.
So those are the amounts we're focused on. So we know the 1.4 hasn't been determined yet, although it's been voted by the board.
So just so I can clarify, the way I'm reading this is that if it's encumbered, then it's secured in a rec or a PO.
Yes.
And then if it's the quote unquote available budget, it's been committed, but it's not secured via a PO. Thank you.
Madam Chair, through you, to Mr. Kazanovich, so the money has to be committed by the end of December. What's the deadline for actually spending it?
It would be December of 2026.
Okay.
Is it possible for the next meeting to find out these that are not encumbered, where they stand in the process?
That's the review we're doing right now.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Are there any other questions? Thank you.
The second item, Madam Chair, is a draft RFP that we provided to the board for the recruitment services that we're seeking to assist the board and the town in the replacement of the manager's position. So the RFP, if voted tonight, would be advertised probably the first week in December with a due date the first week in January, or the second week. That being said, a review of that, the results would, in the review, because it is an RFP, those proposals will be evaluated based upon a criteria that's identified, is highly advantageous, advantageous, not advantageous, on a number of criteria within the RFP. That process would be conducted by the board, and an award would be made, thus proceeding with a plan and a timeline to hire a town manager.
I just have one question. You said it was going to be closing on the second week in January, but the date that we have, I think, is January 3rd. Are you going to push that back?
Date is flexible. I just
Okay.
populated that, but.
I know, given the new
What I
year.
would like to do is I'd like to get it out as soon as possible, but I got to see how far in advance we have to notify wherever we're going to advertise and how long that's going to take to schedule.
Plus, I mean, I would just take into consideration that you have Christmas followed by New Year, so a lot of companies and businesses aren't going to have the capacity
That's why I
necessarily to
said maybe
respond.
it's best if we do like the second week in January. Yeah.
That's what I would prefer to see.
The chair, I'm not as familiar with this. When proposals come back, is this an executive session thing? I don't know what type of information comes. We all get the packet here and sit there and open it and,
So the bids would be received, they come in separate envelopes, they would be received in the manager's office, a date specified, they would be recorded that received, and they would be evaluated by this board, unless the board wants to designate, delegate that to either the chair, the vice chair, or.
So, I mean, typically, we would be given the packages ahead of time. We would go through them, we would score them. So you would already have read them, scored them. So when we have our meeting here to discuss them, we have our scores.
I've done sealed bids and stuff like that for construction, but not
Right.
for services like that. So I just want to make sure. And then again, knowing it's a public body, I just didn't know how, because there will be some potential issues that come up from their bids, or some things are better than others, and just want to make sure.
And we also have the right to request an interview of the candidates as well, not just go off of the scoring, but we can interview as well.
Are there any other questions?
I think besides a few dates, I don't have any issues with it, and they were left kind of ambiguous, so if those dates get filled, then I'm okay with that.
Understanding that we do have the holidays, I was hoping that if we get it out the first week in December, knowing that Christmas week could be a slow week and New Year's, maybe it makes sense to push it out an additional week into January.
So I'm
I think I have
I'm in favor of,
January 3rd, we could do it at the close of business on January 10th.
I'm in favor of getting it out as soon as possible, but allowing them the flexibility if they have the capacity to get their bids back, great. But at the same time, I don't want to limit it based on those people, because a lot of firms do close the last 2 weeks of the year. So I would hate to lose out on that because of our timeline, so extending it to the second week
So I'll make a motion that we accept the RFP as proposed, with the one exception that we change the due date to January 10th, 2025.
Is there a second?
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The chair is yes as well.
Thank you. And the final item I had, once again, we have scheduled a public meeting to hear the concerns of our residents as it relates to the traffic and safety concerns on our public ways. I just want to just express that notification to the general public that that date has been set for December 5th. That's a Thursday, 2024, starting at 5:30 PM in this room.
Do board members have any questions? Great.
Madam Chair, that has been advertised on our electronic billboards in front of the library, in front of the fire station. It's on our social media page. It's on our website.
Wonderful, thank you. Moving along, we have no table items, we have no member items. Is there any additional public comment? Thank you. We do have meeting minutes in our packet. Are there any corrections or changes? If none, I will accept them as read. Would just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair is a yes as well. We are adjourned.